So, what if I told you that the Big Bang, dark matter, and dark energy, what if they were all just symptoms of a much, much deeper reality? Today, we're diving into a truly radical new theory that proposes exactly that, a universe that's actually a projection from a timeless fifth dimension.
Okay, to even begin to entertain a theory this wild, we have to face a really uncomfortable truth. The tensions in cosmology, the disagreements between our observations, have now surpassed the 6 sigma threshold. And in science, that's not just a small error, that's a certified crisis. It forces us to ask a really tough question. Is our standard model of the universe, lambda CDM, fundamentally broken?
And here you can see the two competing visions. On the left, that's the standard model we all know. A hot, violent beginning, a period of rapid inflation, and a universe dominated by the complete mysteries of dark matter and dark energy. But on the right, the S-matter framework tells a totally different story. A calm, cold start from a timeless fifth dimension where just one single substance, S-energy, is responsible for creating everything we see.
Okay, so what does this projected universe actually look like? Well, it's built on a few core ideas that are going to challenge, everything we think we know about reality. Let's break down the building blocks.
First things first, you gotta forget everything you've seen in sci-fi about extra dimensions. In this framework, the fifth dimension isn't another place you could travel to. It's described as a timeless, non-geometric state domain. Think of it more like a reservoir, where every single possibility that could ever exist exists simultaneously, in a state of pure potential.
And at the absolute heart of all this is something called S-energy. The theory proposes that this one fundamental substance is the origin of it all. Matter, gravity, space, time, the whole shebang. Our entire four-dimensional universe, in this view, is just an actualized current, kind of like a single river flowing through an infinite ocean of this S-energy.
So how do you get from this timeless, everything-at-once state to our reality, where cause and effect actually matter? Well, that's the job of what's called the projection codex. The best way to think of it is as the universe's source code. It's the fundamental rulebook that translates all those infinite possibilities of the fifth dimension into the single unfolding story of our 4D space-time.
Now, this all sounds like some pretty mind-bending philosophy, right? But it's designed to be way more than that. It's meant to be a powerful scientific tool. Because the real test for any new idea like this is simple. Can it solve the problems that the old model can't?
And believe me, our standard model has some big problems. It's not just creaking, it's pretty much groaning under the weight of these issues. You've got the Hubble tension, that huge disagreement on how fast the universe is expanding. And then there's the cosmological constant problem, which is a mismatch between theory and observation so vast it's like a 1 followed by 120 zeros. I mean, that's not just wrong, that's spectacularly wrong.
And this is where the S-matter framework really shines, because it offers some really elegant solutions. That Hubble tension? It says that the voids in space are actually pulling in S-energy, literally pushing things apart faster, right there. The black hole information paradox? Solved. Black holes aren't deleting information, they're resolution points where reality kind of crashes and sends the info back to the fifth dimension. And that insane vacuum energy problem? It just goes away. Because in this model, cosmic acceleration has nothing to do with vacuum energy. It's a hydraulic effect from the inflow of S-energy.
But a theory this big, this comprehensive, it didn't just pop out of nowhere, fully formed. The way it developed over a really short, intense period is a story in itself. A super fast journey from a rough idea to a serious scientific contender.
And the source material itself has the perfect metaphor for this. It says to imagine the first version as the blueprinted sketch of a skyscraper, the grand vision. But the latest version, that's the completed structural engineering plan, built to withstand some serious scientific scrutiny.
And check out how fast this all happened. We're talking less than a year. It starts as this speculative paper in April 2025. Just a few months later, by December, it's already pulling in brand new data from huge projects like DESI and JWST. And by January of the next year, boom, it's a mathematically solid, hardened defense incorporating the absolute latest discoveries.
You can really see the shift here. The tone went from, hey, what if, to here's our proof. The math went from just being concepts to actual, hard derivations with error bars. And most importantly, it went from being a cool hypothesis to being based on and checked against real-world data.
But look, an elegant theory that tidies up old problems, that's still not enough. To really be considered science, it has to do one more thing, the most important thing. It has to make a unique prediction, something we can actually go out and test in the real world.
Exactly, right? How do we know this isn't just another beautiful story told with math? For it to be real science, it has to stick its neck out. It has to make a prediction that, if it's wrong, the whole theory comes crashing down. And this is where the theory gets really gutsy. It makes this wild prediction called the void hydrogen floor. It says that as this S energy flows into our universe through the absolute emptiest parts of space, a tiny bit of it should actually turn into brand new, pristine hydrogen gas. Now, this is a huge deal because our standard model says those voids should be, well, void, almost perfectly empty.
And it's not just predicting, oh, there might be some gas there. No, it gives a hard number, a specific density, right down to the air bars. This is something astronomers can literally point their telescopes at and measure. It's a real, testable number.
This right here, this is the whole ball game, the smoking gun. It's a crystal clear signal that would prove this 5D projection model right and pretty much every standard 4D model wrong. If the big new radio telescopes, like the Square Kilometer Array, point them at a void and they find this hydrogen floor, wow, that's a game changer. And if they find nothing, well, the theory's dead. That's how science works. So we're left with this absolutely profound question. What if the emptiest places in our universe are actually the most full? What if they're the places where creation is happening, right now? If this theory holds up, then the great cosmic voids aren't empty at all. They're the well springs of reality, constantly feeding our universe from a source we can't even see.